Hello guys, my name is Riad, and today we'll be speaking about adjusting entries. In particular, what are they, why do we use them, and how are they recorded? There are two types of accounting styles. First being cash basis, where revenue is recorded when cash is in hand and expenses are incurred when cash is out of hand, compared to the accrued basis accounting, where revenue is recorded when recognized and expenses are also recorded when incurred. There are four scenarios that adjusting entries can be categorized, and each scenario requires a different set of debiting and crediting different accounts. The four scenarios include deferred revenue, accrued revenue, deferred expense, and accrued expense. Our first scenario is considering deferred revenue. This revolves around situations where revenue is performed before receiving cash. For example, Jetstar receives cash from their customers before flying them out to the desired country, and this will first receive cash, and their liability will be an unearned revenue, as they have an obligation to provide a service. On flight day, the adjusting entry is performed, debiting liability and crediting service revenue. Our second scenario revolves around accrued revenue. This situation involves performing the revenue first, followed by cash later. For example, having a lawn mowing business where someone can offer you a contract where you perform the service, then you debit accounts receivable because you are expecting them to pay, credit revenue because the revenue is completed. Once the payees pay you, then adjust the entry by debiting cash because you received the cash, and crediting the accounts receivable as they no longer owe you the amount. Moving on to adjusting expenses. In specific, deferred revenue is when you pay for an expense that hasn't already incurred. For example, Coca-Cola would pay upfront for an advertisement known as prepaid advertising, where they can pay upfront for 12 months. The first entry will revolve around debiting prepaid advertisement and crediting cash. Let's say 1 month passes. You then have to record the adjusting entry where you debit 1 month worth of advertising expense and credit 1 month worth of prepaid advertising. The final scenario in regarding adjusting entries is accrued expense, where expenses are incurred before payment. For example, let's say it's Christmas time and you decorate your whole house with lights. You using up the electricity on the day is an expense, one that you do not pay for until the end of the period. So the entry recorded first is debiting expense and crediting a payable. Because you owe the amount to the company that you are supplied electricity from, now the adjusting entry recorded would be debiting payable, as you no longer owe them that payment, and crediting cash as you have no longer lost the cash, thus crediting it.